Hello everybody, this is Josh Explain Place, and today we continue to grow and expand our city of Port Austin in Cities Skylines 2 in this episode number 6. Let's see if we can expand our low density residential areas as well as do some mining. So let's begin. And well, in our previous episode, we were able to create or start developing our downtown with tall buildings. As you can see here, we have mostly high density residential buildings as well as some medium density, and that's how this little downtown is going to start. And we also have this side, so we'll try to figure out how to fill this in. So what I originally wanted to do was to fill it up with the power lines, but I think that we're gonna divert the power lines to go right next to the expressway. We're gonna try to have the power lines go right by the expressway, maybe in the middle. I don't know if that's possible. Sometimes there's not enough space. So let's see. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be possible, but at least next to it should be fine. So we're gonna try to do the power lines around here, or maybe on this side, and then try to go maybe from here and on. And the reason why I wanna do that is because I think that we're gonna have this really cool project that's gonna take maybe these 3 blocks and these 4 or 5 or even 6 blocks, and I think we're gonna try to make it a large park, kind of like a central park for our high density areas that we're gonna keep on developing, because all of this low density that's here and here, it's gonna have to be updated to be into high density. Let's see why it says no access here. And so I think that all of these, maybe even up to here, and maybe all the way here, this can all be one really nice park. Of course, unfortunately, we don't have anything similar to what we have in Cities Skylines 1, which is to have a park area, but we can kinda do something like this. You know what? Let's trace it from now, because we're declaring that this is gonna be our central park. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can do it here. And so we're gonna call this area Port Austin's Central Park. Again, all of the zoning is gonna be gone, and I think that's gonna be just fine. And I think we're gonna have to start zoning in here, just continue doing what we were doing with the park in this area, but I don't know yet, because we still have to continue the expressway being on the above ground, not just on the ground. That way we have access to cross this street easier, right? Even though we can do it right now, to have it go above and then get here, I think it's gonna be fine, right? But we don't need that right now. And even then, I think that even though we have just a little bit of demand for low density, I think we should continue working on that. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is, as always, we need to look at our data panel. So we're gonna go with electricity, and it seems like we're gonna need another power plant really soon, because we're already starting to import. And even though, again, we're doing really well in terms of money, you can already see the trade deficit that's going to be there. So we now have enough money to get a geothermal power plant, and the electricity production is from 0 to 150 megawatts, low and high, as opposed to the small coal power plant. The small coal power plant is 20 megawatts with an upkeep of up to 45,000 per month, and this geothermal is really good with an upkeep of 150,000 per month. Again, that's assuming that we get the whole 150 megawatt hours. So we can do that. We're gonna be able to demolish some of these power plants. So let's see where we're able to. It's a big building. So let's see, maybe we can do it here. We won't be able to do it there. See, it is a big thing. So, you know what? For now, let's just build yet another coal power plant. And we're gonna place it here. Again, it's not ideal, but I think for the price, we should be fine for now. And again, we don't have any more. This should be moving really quick. Yeah, it's going down. And yeah, we should be fine already. We're exporting a really good amount now. What we're gonna do is also gonna add another hazardous waste collection point. That way we have more processing speed, which we actually need it. So that is that. As you can see, we have a lot of traffic. We have all of this congestion in here, trying to get into these new areas, these new places. So we definitely, maybe not in this episode, but our next one, we do need to figure out what we're gonna do with this intersection. Again, I need to make this be above, so maybe we can have some parking lots underneath the expressway, and I think that's gonna help. That's gonna help us. So let's try to see what we're gonna do here. We do need to look at the terrain, not that much, but we do have to look at it just a little bit. Again, there's not really the main resources except this nice forest, but what we do have to do is to buy a couple more tiles because we need to continue this. So let's do this. Let's buy these 4 tiles and let's create another subdivision that's gonna, we can have it in here. I think that's just perfect. Let's see if it's gonna work. Again, you know how things get a little bit messy when you start doing that. Yeah, it's gonna be just perfect. Let me just update it to this one. And we do have to change this into a roundabout. And I'm sorry for these businesses, you're gonna have to rebuild again. And let me work on creating this humongous new neighborhood. We'll be back. well, that took me a little bit longer than I would have liked to, but I think we are complete with phase 1 of this really nice subdivision, and you can see it's already working. So let me explain what I did here. As you can see, again, in some of the Texas suburbs, you are gonna see sometimes in the suburbs or in some neighborhoods where you have the large roads like this one, avenues, and you have another road like this. And of course, that's a big grid, right? And so inside those big squares, you have the neighborhood, the subdivisions, but sometimes in the corners, you do have commercial areas. You have businesses, you have big stores. And so that's what I'm going to try to do here. That way, the people that live here don't have to go that far away. And so we're going to do that here. And we're going to do that here. So that should help a lot. Also, let me just add another parking. Let's add it here. And I did beautify this street only to have the median with grass and trees. And I'm going to do the same with everything from this side. So we'll see how this works. Again, let me zone a little bit more. So as you can see here, we need to continue to do this type of neighborhoods. I mean, that's what my quote-unquote realistic cities will have more of. Okay, so that's gonna keep this in demand. And let's add just a little bit of offices in here and just medium density housing here. And that should help us a lot. Again, I don't want to have a lot of high density residential because it sometimes doesn't make any sense. And as you can see, yes, we have a lot of traffic. I still don't understand why these cars keep going through if they shouldn't be able to do so. As you can see here, we changed this. The only other thing that I'm gonna do is to make this a two-way road like that, and that should help us a little bit more. As you can see, it's amazing how much people walk in here. It's just a shame that we don't have bikes. I think that's a big issue. And let's see if we can add some parking in here just really quick before we go into our next project. This doesn't fit here. You know what? Yeah, we're not gonna be able. Let's just let's just put a what's the upkeep? We'll wait. We'll wait, and maybe we'll have another one of these here, which is getting full pretty quick. And so, in some of our first episodes, I think we were talking about what we're gonna do in this area, and the reason why I asked, or why we were talking about it, is because we have some ore here, and so we do need to unlock these two tiles. And again, see how much money we are making. So let's repay these loans. And let's kind of take a look at to see where we are gonna have our mines. So let's have a road. That should be fine. So now let's go into our specialized industry, which I think works a little bit better, or it's a little bit easier to deal with in this game. So we're gonna put it. Let's put it here, and let's start zoning as much as we can. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, as long as we're able to mine. And then we take a look at our production, then we're gonna see how much we are gonna be producing. In this case is rocks, coal, and there you go. So we're gonna be producing a lot a lot, which means that we need to figure out how to process this, and that's the next step. So let's take a look at our mine. I think it's really, really cool. And it's gonna help us grow our city a whole lot more, because now we can have different types of industries. And that's always a good thing. So we need to just monitor how well this is gonna be doing, and see what the production is for this, because it should give us a lot of money. So what we're gonna need here is coal, and let's see if we can place it on the other side. So let's try to put it here. Let's where else can we put it? Because that's the only place where it has some resources. So we're gonna do something that we did on the other side, which is to move this castle. And this castle, let's say for now, we're gonna just put it here. That way we can place our coal mine here. Let's try to see if we're able to harvest some of these resources. Again, we're not close to where the resources are, but I think that's gonna work great. And you know what? Maybe we can make this a little bit smaller. See, it's 14.7 tons of resources that we're gonna be able to get. Yeah, that should be fine. And then we're gonna have to look at our production and see that little by little we'll take a look as to how much we are producing. We need a lot. You know why? Because we have a crap load of plants, of power plants. And so again, our next step will be to build this geothermal power plant. The only thing is, where are we gonna place it? Because it's a big place. And we also need to consider that this avenue is that's split into two roads, two one-way roads. And these two one-way roads are gonna meet again, and they're gonna go all the way here and have an entrance into the expressway here. And you know what? Maybe we can do it. We can link this Thornton Street, or avenue, I would call it, all the way here. And then that can be this really cool avenue that goes from the actual harbor, the actual port, all the way through downtown, through the original area, and into the expressway and back into the suburbs. I think that's gonna work really, really well. I also think we're actually gonna have to continue this here and try to figure out how to make it get to here. Maybe we're gonna have another entrance, and this can be our entrance into the subdivision. As you can see here, there's still way more demand than expected. This is not nearly enough, and I like it. I like it because again, that's just what real cities look like. So let's do this. And I think we've neglected to do something. The first thing is to look at the police coverage, and this one is pretty red here, so I'm gonna do a regular police station, and I'm gonna place it here. And I think that's gonna help this area a lot. And I think I'm gonna do the same here. And also for the firehouse, and there's nothing in here. And what I think I'm gonna do instead is we're gonna go, first of all, we got to the next milestone, which is big city, which means that we got a little bit of more money and more and a larger loan limit, as well as 11 development points and 18 tile purchase permits. So in here, I think for this one, let me unlock the fire watchtower, the fire station, and the helicopter depot. Because in here we are gonna put, well, we don't have money, but whenever we have the money we'll put it here. But for now we're gonna unlock this firehouse, and we're gonna place it here. right? That's going to help us with our average fire hazard. And same thing here. We're going to put it, and that should also help us a lot. See, that did help us a lot. We'll get back to it. Again, disasters aren't a big thing, or at least as important or big as they were in City Skylines 1. So I'm not worried about it. So let's pause the game really quick. We're seeing that we need water. Let's look at our info. And yes, we do need water. So let's see if... There you go. We already upgraded that one to have a little bit more capacity. And there you go, that should be it. In terms of electricity, again, we're doing well. We're not gonna need anything big at the moment. But we do have to figure out where we wanna place that huge geothermal power plant pretty soon, because we can also take a look at the solar power plant, and I think that might be a different option. Let's see the price for that solar power plant. Oh, there we go. It's unlocked. We just don't have the money, so that's gonna be it. Let's take a look at the progression for the roads. I think yeah, we can unlock this. We have enough points. In terms of electricity, we're fine. Water, we're fine for now. We've unlocked the hospital, the recycling center. We might be interested in an incinerator, but we'll see. We still need to build a college. That's something we're gonna need, but let's unlock the university for now. We're okay with the fire services. Same thing with this. Maybe unlock the city hall. We have the basic transportation services as well as train, water, and let's unlock air. And I think that's gonna be it for now. Let's do the post sorting facility. Let's take a look at that. So let's build. Do we have a post office here? Yeah. So I'm gonna let's see how well or bad we're doing. Yeah, I think we need a lot more. So let's place this post office here. Yeah, we're fine for now in that regard. So let's just place some more mailboxes. Let's do one here. And definitely we need a couple more in this industrial area, which we kind of neglected. But again, I think we should be fine. There you go. And again, we just let this game run in the fastest speed because that's better for us to get all this money. The last thing that I'm gonna do in this episode is to pay this loan, because if you take a look at how much we're paying on interest, that's gonna help us too. But that way we don't have any debt, so that's gonna be just fine. We still got some money to invest and to continue this. So let's recap this episode. First of all, we were able to continue growing our low density residential areas in the city with what I'm going to call phase 1 of this subdivision. And we were able to place 2 mines, one for ore and another one for coal, and both of them, I think they're doing really well. The efficiency here is 106 and the efficiency here is 45 because there's not a lot of resource in this area, but again, it's fine. I think we're fine with that. And if we look at the production, again, ore, we're producing more than we need. Coal is what we need a lot of, and that's again because we have a lot of power plants, which we will get rid of once we decide on whether we want the geothermal power plant or if we want the solar power plant. But I think the solar power plant, along with 1 or 2 battery stations will be just perfect. We just need to have the space and just figure out where we're gonna place it. Even though we have a lot of space, a lot of tiles to buy, right? We're just scratching the surface. We do need to figure out how we're gonna do that and where we're gonna put it before we do anything else. And so I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I think we did pretty well with this new subdivision. And I think it's growing really well. And of course, you need a whole lot more low density residential areas. We also work with the mining, which we needed because we are utilizing some of it, and the rest of it we can sell for more profit. And I think we did well. Not a lot visually, but I think we were able to take care of a lot of stuff, including paying off our loans. And so I do want to thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing to my channel. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions, please make sure to leave it in the comment section. As always, thank you, and we'll see each other in our next episode. Thank you.